Good afternoon, good evening, whatever time of day it is, we're glad you're with us.
Welcome to the video. Today's a really short one. All we want to do is we want to install a remote desktop on the Raspberry Pi. So what remote desktop is, it's a little application that will allow me to control the Raspberry Pi from my PC. So JD, we're going to go ahead and do that. I'm going to zoom out so we can look at the screen as you do. This is where we got to in the last video. JD, let's go ahead and do this. In order to get this going, we need to open up a terminal. A terminal is just the window that we're going to use that will allow us to talk to the Raspberry Pi operating system. JD, let's go. Let's open up that terminal.
Okay.
All right, JD, so the first thing I want you to do is I want you to update the system or run an update command. Let's go ahead and do that.
You type in sudo.
What does sudo mean?
It means that the computer has to do what you say, or think of you as the boss.
I think of you as the boss is probably the best way of doing it. Sudo means that you're running this as the administrator is the technical term. So we're going to run sudo space apt space update. This shouldn't update many things, and press enter. This should not update many things. This should work just out of the bat, or out of the gate, should I say. Okay, so all files are up to date already. The next thing I want you to run is, let's just check, do sudo space apt space upgrade. Now this will see if it's possible to upgrade your operating system. Since we did the upgrade in the last video, I don't think that that's going to have any effect, but let's go ahead and do it anyway. Nope, absolutely nothing to do. So now we're ready to install the RDP, the Remote Desktop Protocol. So the RDP program for the Raspberry Pi is called xrdp. So we're going to install that. To install things on the Raspberry Pi, we're going to go sudo space apt space install, and then this program is called xrdp, and press enter. So if it's found it, it will now install this for us. I press yes if you want to continue, so type in a Y, JD, and press enter. Okay, so now it installs everything and it does a whole lot of cool stuff for you, which would be very complicated if it wasn't doing it all for you. So what this is going to allow us to do is this is going to allow us to connect to the Raspberry Pi from my PC. So as soon as this finishes up, we'll be able to go ahead and do that. It's busy now. Almost done. And done. Okay, so one last thing we need to do on the Raspberry Pi. Each device that is linked to your network is given what's called an IP address. I'm not going to go into what an IP address is, but we need to find out what the IP address of the Raspberry Pi is. To do this, we need to type in sudo, because we want to be the boss again, the administrator, and space ifconfig. Now we are running the wireless LAN. Press return, press enter, yeah. So we need to look at WLAN 0. Now if you have a look over here, you see it's got iNet 10.10.10.130. Yours will be something completely different. That is the number that we need to connect to from our PC. Here we are on my laptop. This is a Windows laptop. JD, what we're going to do now is we're going to see if we can connect to the Raspberry Pi. If we installed all that correctly, that number, that WLAN 0 number, the iNet number, the 10.10.10.130 in my case, that's what we're going to use to connect over here. So we got 10.10.10.130. Now we're going to specify a username, which is going to be Pi. And we're going to say allow to save credentials. So I'm going to save this because I don't want to try and remember this the whole time. Now I'm going to click connect. If we've got everything correct, we should find this laptop on my thing. Okay, now it's going to give you this warning, and because connecting to random things is dangerous, but this is not random, we know what it is. We're going to say yes. Now it's going to ask us for our password. Do you remember the password?
Yes.
It was complicated. What was it?
Password. PASSWORD.
It's always good to remember the password. So password is what we've got, and we click OK. Now if it's done correctly, it should open up the Raspberry Pi window on my laptop. So everything that you can see on the Raspberry Pi monitor, you can now see right here in front of us. We can do all of our same commands. ifconfig, if I spell it right, was the one you were looking for. All of our same commands are right here in front of us, and we can do this very, very simply.
Hey, that's all for today. Hey, so I hope you enjoyed your video, and Happy New Year.
Happy New Year, guys. I hope you have a great one. We'll see you again soon.